Yo, what the funk is up, everyone? Welcome back to Living It Up with Louie B. I appreciate you guys coming through. I got an easy and a fun one for y'all today. So there I was hanging out with Super Mario, Super Mario 64, and I'm staring at the game and I'm like, man, I gotta mod this thing. You know, I got that mod itch, right? So I remember on eBay they had these clear case cartridges for the Nintendo 64 games, right? So I bought it, and as soon as I got it, I realized I had to do a few more things to it to make it special, right? So without further ado, let's check the video. And if you feel like you want to do this mod, this is an instructional video for you. So please, by all means, do it yourself and post some pictures, you know? Be proud of your creation. All right, let's get to it. Ah, man, if it isn't a game near and dear to my heart, Super Mario 64. As I say that, the memories just come flooding in. Well, we definitely got a banger for y'all today. We're gonna be modding this game with a clear case, and then we're also going to, well, you guessed it, put some LED lights in it because I love LED lights. That is one of my favorite mods to do. Also, if you haven't checked out the USB hub cartridge mod, please do. It's in the channel. It's a really fun one to follow. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this mod, starting with the disassembly process. But of course, y'all know I'm not going to leave you during this lethargic process, so let's get started with fun fact number 1. The Super Mario 64 concept was actually developed during the Super Nintendo era with the introduction of the Super FX chip. However, it was ultimately put on hold for the next generation console that we now know as the Nintendo 64. Aside from having much more capability than the Super Nintendo, the main reason for the hold was because the Super Nintendo controller lacked the necessary buttons to help Mario navigate in a 3D environment, such as the joystick and the C buttons. Yet, I can't help but imagine what would have been like to have it on the Super Nintendo. With the board now free, we are going to be using these extra contacts to solder our wires in. But first we have to perform a voltage check for our LEDs. It is clear during this test that I can use the LEDs without resistors because the board only puts out 3.3 volts. Next, we're going to measure and cut the wires that we're going to need for our LEDs. For fun fact number 2, let me answer a crucial question that you all must have. Why didn't Super Mario 64 include Luigi? What does Nintendo have against our favorite plumber brother? Well, nothing at all. They love Luigi like we do. See, originally the game was planned to have a multiplayer mode with Luigi in it, but due to the incapability of the technology at the time, he could not be incorporated as the developers desired. With our wires now cut to length, it is time to solder them to the LEDs, insulate them, and then solder them to the game board. Sounds to me like you guys are ready for fun fact number 3. If you were around for the 90s, you remember the rivalry that stood between Sega and Nintendo. You might even remember Sega's marketing slogan, "Genesis does what Nintendo don't." However, Sega played a key role in making Super Mario 64 one of Nintendo's most iconic games. During early development, Nintendo did not have proper controllers for testing, so they opted in using modified Sega controllers as the next best thing due to their capability. Who would have thought? With our LEDs fully soldered to the game board, it is now time to put the game back together in its new clear shell. Oh, were you expecting a fun fact number 4? Well, that's just too bad. Nah, just kidding, I got you. I bet the absence of the flagpole in Super Mario 64 must have been very confusing. I know it was for me when I first played it back in '96. If you don't know what I'm talking about, prior to this game, some Mario games had an iconic flagpole which you had to race to in order to finish the level. The developers eliminated the pole because they wanted gamers to appreciate the 3D open area and explore it rather than racing to level completion. Our cartridge is looking very good, fully assembled, and now it is time to add the final touch, the Super Mario 64 game label. Before we finish our project, you know I gotta get you right with fun fact number 5. During the development of the game, developers plan to have as many as 40 levels, with 32 levels having been already developed. However, due to the size constraints of the cartridge, they were not able to accomplish this feat. Instead, they decided to create 15 very well designed and detailed levels with an emphasis on exploration and multiple task completion per one level. And ladies and gentlemen, here it is, our clear case LED modded Super Mario 64 game cartridge. Ain't it a thing of beauty? Let's go ahead and give it a good test. Ooh, can I get a drum roll, please? Wait, look at that thing of beauty right there. Looking all fancy and whatnot. Man, I'm very happy with how this mod came out. It was such an easy mod to do. It looks absolutely excellent, I gotta tell you. With the colors fluctuating as they should, we're gonna go ahead and call this mod a huge success. Thank you guys very much for coming through and checking out the content. I appreciate y'all so much. If you liked what you saw here, please hit that subscribe button and feel free to check out the rest of the channel. I got a bunch of other projects and goodies that I worked on in the past that I think you guys would like. Please take good care, everybody. Don't be a stranger. And this is Louie B signing out.